10 NBA teams missed the playoffs this season. And by missing it, I mean no play-in, no playoffs. They're watching the playoffs from the couch. And the first team that missed it was the Charlotte Hornets. And they're going to be getting Michael Jordan as a legend to help their team. The Utah Jazz are going to be getting Kevin Garnett. And we're going to restart the 2022-23 season to see how differently things pan out for these teams. The Orlando Magic are going to be adding Tracy McGrady. He's back. For certain teams, I gave them all-time players if it made sense and they fit with the roster, but if teams just didn't have good enough all-time players, or I felt that a player fit better, then I just went with an all-time legend. For example, with the Pacers. Kareem never played for the Pacers, but he's a 98 overall, and he'll be really good for them. So I was like, why not give the Pacers Kareem? And of course, KD never played for the Pistons. Maybe one day they'll beat him in the finals or something, and then he'll join, but it hasn't happened yet. So KD's on the Pistons. Bogdanovich is gonna run the 4. We got Cade running point guard. Looks like a solid squad. The Houston Rockets add Dr. J, because I feel like I don't really see Dr. J in 2K simulations very often. So the doctor. And the San Antonio Spurs, they're going to get Mr. Fundamental, the bank shot, Tim Duncan. Him Duncan is going to try to bring back the Spurs. And then the Portland Trailblazers, they've got one loyal star in Dame, and it didn't really make sense to give them another guard, but it's Kobe, man. 2 loyal stars on the same team. We'll see if they can take that team to the next level. The next level is kind of crazy. I mean, the next level would really be making the play-in. But anyway, the Wizards got Shaquille O'Neal. 7'1", 325 pounds. He's going to be out there dominating. And here's a quick little recap. If you forgot some of the players who we added, I realize there's going to be 2 Kevin Durant's in the league, but it is what it is. More mid-range buckets, more you can't guard him, he's going to shoot over you. More of my team blew a 3-1 lead, so I'm going to join the team I lost to. I had to make the joke. My bad. Russ versus KD this year in the playoffs. I can't wait for the playoffs, man. I think I say it almost every video, but I am so excited. And here's a look at the, what are these called? All-Star teams? Yeah, the All-Star teams. See, I know ball. I'm real excited for the playoffs. But the All-Star teams, I'm pretty sure all of our guys made it. They're making huge impacts for their teams, by the way, because some of the teams that were previously in the postseason are completely out. The former 1-seeded Denver Nuggets are the 15th seed. They got absolutely cooked. The 2K sim doesn't like them. The Hawks somehow are holding up. I don't understand, but 2K loves some Atlanta Hawks basketball, and the Toronto Raptors, Chicago Bulls, and Milwaukee Bucks are the 3 worst teams in the East. Another team that 2K hates is the Milwaukee Bucks. Like, I never see them really do anything in these simulations. Luka Doncic is still the MVP. You add a bunch of legends. Don't worry, Luka's still going to do his thing. Ben Simmons is 6th man of the year. Wonder what's going on with Benjamin. I don't think he's going to be playing in the playoffs. I'm actually almost 100% sure he's going to be out there. Kareem DPOY and Jason Kidd is the coach of the year. And as you can see on our All-NBA teams, it's a bunch of the guys who we added to the league. Shaquille O'Neal. You've got great big men in the league like Jokic, but his team probably won a total of like 30 games, so he wasn't making any All-NBA, and the fact that he couldn't guard a Park Carr was definitely getting exposed this season with Big Shaq in the paint, Kevin Garnett. Now there's a bunch of interior scoring threats, more so than there are now because the three-point shot ruined the game. You know, now all anybody wants to do is cross, tween, pull up from half court. I see these kids, and all they do is practice three-pointers. They want to be like Steph Curry. Yeah, whatever, bro. We don't care. Trae Young is going to be on the All-NBA third team. Michael Jordan, All-NBA third team. Because, of course, MJ and Trae Young, they're about on the same type of wavelength, according to 2K. And Jokic ends up making third team. So he still made All-NBA despite his team struggling this year. Luka and Kobe on the all-defensive team. Because, you know, Luka's a known defensive player. Man, like it's the Mavs. They maybe not specifically the Mavs, but 2K loves Luka. They love the Hawks. Like, I don't know what's going on. 2K's got their teams, but the Mavericks end up doing their thing, which makes sense. They got Dirk on their team now, and really they should have made the play-in, but I don't even know what happened. They just folded like an omelet. Now we've got the Portland Trailblazers in the number 3 seed. Kobe and Dame doing their thing. They didn't start Anthony Simons at the 3, even though I moved him to the 3, so I guess it was Cam Reddish season. We had the Utah Jazz here with KG, Walker Kessler, Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, and the Rockets. Look at Dr. J, man. I added him to the league and he started hooping. He was a cool addition. And the Sacramento Kings, they were still lighting the beam, even with all these stars in the league. The Warriors did their thing. The Pelicans are the Pelicans. Hopefully Zion can get back. I don't know what's going on. The Clippers are the 9th seed. Russ has been kind of hooping lately for the Clippers. And the Lakers are the 10th seed. They got that play-in dub last night against the Timberwolves. It was an ugly game. It was on like really late at night. I was asleep, I'm not going to lie to you, but I woke up, made sure to catch up on the happenings of the game. Man, I really wish I could have watched that game, but like, bro, I saw it went on till like 2 in the morning. I was glad I caught my Z's. I mean, those teams were throwing up brick after brick. Sure, it went into overtime, but I'm not mad that I didn't lose sleep over the Dennis Schroeder masterclass. But yeah, no disrespect to Dennis Schroeder. He was hooping out there. He was hitting a lot of buckets, but like if I would have woke up and saw LeBron drop 50, I would have been like, darn, I missed that game. You know what I mean? But like, I mean, Dennis Schroeder, 21 points. Rudy Gobert suspended. Some Mike Conley free throws to send the game to overtime. Like, I'm sure the game was interesting if you were watching, but I'm not too mad I missed it. I'm real hyped for that Lakers-Grizzlies game, and they won't have me up at crazy hours. I know I sound like an old head saying that, but they won't have me up at crazy hours. I saw the first game was at like 3 o'clock or something. Shout out to the NBA for that, for real. And in the first round, we had a Game 7 between the Magic and the Wizards, and it was the Magic coming out on top. This was T-Mac versus Shaquille O'Neal. A really good matchup here, but Tracy McGrady was able to get the best of who some would call the most dominant force in NBA history. Guess he wasn't so dominant in that one because T-Mac ended up winning. The Memphis Grizzlies beat the Pelicans. Don't really care too much about this matchup. It's a Ja versus Zion matchup, which is cool, but it doesn't really have to do with the, like the focus of our video. We're trying to look at the stars we added to this team, or to these teams, and of course, neither one of those teams ended up getting a star. We've got the Mavs versus the Rockets. That is Dirk versus Julius Erving. We've got the Blazers versus the Grizzlies. That's Kobe and then the normal Grizzlies. We've got Celtics versus Sixers. And yeah, this is just the normal Celtics and the normal Sixers. But then we've got a more interesting matchup. We've got the Orlando Magic and the Indiana Pacers. The Hawks lost. We've got the Pacers versus the Magic here, though. Kareem versus T-Mac. Two really young teams in real life that were able to make a leap as a result of their new stars. And one of those teams is going to be advancing to the conference finals. The Mavs end up moving on to face the Blazers. So we've got Kobe versus Dirk. And then here in this matchup between the Pacers and Magic, we've got a Game 7 where the Pacers come out on top. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar puts up a masterclass. Had the Magic having nightmares where Kareem was just hitting skyhook after skyhook. He's averaging almost 36 points per game, over 16 rebounds, and T-Mac was hooping, don't get me wrong, but I mean, Kareem, you know what I mean? He was doing his thing. And we've got the Trailblazers versus the Mavs. This is Dirk versus Kobe, Dame versus Doncic. This should be a really interesting one. And then we've got the Celtics versus the Pacers. And I'm not going to lie, sorry if you're a Celtics fan, but we're rooting for the Celtics' downfall in this one. We're trying to see some of the legends who we added to this league advance to the finals. And of course, out west, that's going to be a guarantee because both of the teams had a legend. But ultimately, Kobe, Dame, and the Blazers advance while the Celtics take down Kareem and the Indiana Pacers. That kind of sucks, but hopefully Kobe can lead his team to a finals win here. So far throughout the playoffs, he's stepped up his play. Damian Lillard has stepped up his play. Anthony Simons has stepped up his play. Jeremy Grant has stepped up his play. Dame time, like I said, and Shadon Sharp hasn't. Nurkic hasn't. Shooting below 50% as a center who's really just in the paint is kind of crazy, but you know what? It's okay. We've got the NBA Finals here. Celtics versus Blazers. Come on, Kobe and Dame. I need y'all to do something. Oh my gosh, bro. All right. The Celtics sweep. Okay. I was just going to make this a one-year video because I assumed one of our teams would win, but I guess we're going to have to run it back. KD goes to the Spurs. He's actually running to a bad team. That's new. All right, man. The KD jokes are crazy. I really like KD. He's real efficient and stuff. But we'll go ahead and see how the rest of free agency pans out. It looks like it's going to take past day 12 of free agency for guys to pick their teams because I guess the salary cap and stuff. But we'll see how it works out in the end and take a look at the rosters. And wow, we saw some player movement here. Michael Jordan remains with the Hornets, but KD teams up with Tim Duncan in San Antonio. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar goes to the Magic. Kobe goes to the Pacers. So basically, Kareem and Kobe switch spots. They both ended up joining each other's teams. KG stays in Utah, Shaq stays in Washington, and then also, if you scroll down a little bit, it looks like T-Mac and Kareem are teaming up, so that's going to be a crazy duo. Dame, unfortunately, doesn't have Kobe on his roster anymore, and then I also wanted to see where Kyrie went. He's in San Antonio as well, so they pulled off some type of salary cap gymnastics and end up adding Kyrie Irving, Tim Duncan, and they have KD, or well, Tim Duncan was already there, and it looks like he was on a minimum. But man, the Spurs got a squad. Imagine the dynamic, though. You got KD and Kyrie, cross, tween, getting in their bag, and then it's Tim Duncan. He's posted up on the elbow, waiting for the ball to hit his bank shot, maybe grab a rebound or two, block a couple shots. It'd be an interesting team for sure. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at these All-NBA teams. You could see them, MJ and LaMelo, dynamic duo in Charlotte. There's the all-defensive teams. There's Lonzo Ball. I say this quite a bit, but I'm really rooting for him to get healthy eventually. Hopefully we can see him hooping again soon. All right. We're heading into the NBA playoffs here. We'll take a look at the standings, and then we'll jump right into it. The Memphis Grizzlies, they don't have any of our legends, so we don't really care, but they're the number 1 seed. The Mavericks, they lose Kyrie Irving, but Dirk and Luka Doncic were good enough to get them the 2nd seed. The supporting cast isn't that great, but when you have 2 guys getting over 30 a game, yeah, you can still get a 2nd seed, even with a kind of mid-supporting cast. KG and the Jazz do their thing. The Thunder are the 4 seed. The Pelicans are here. A lot of teams without our legends are our top seeds, which kind of sucks, but at least we got Dr. J here with the Rockets, and their depth is kind of crazy. You got Vucevic off the bench, a lot of good other players off the bench as well. You got Kyrie, KD, and him Duncan here in San Antonio. Tim Duncan did not lead the team in scoring. It was KD doing his thing. Kyrie Irving less than 20 a game, but they had so many scoring options. Somebody had to take a back seat, and it was Kyrie Irving. The Lakers are in the 9th seed, and the Nuggets have a bounce back year, I guess, earning the 10th seed. Sucks to see what's happened for them in this video, but I mean, basketball isn't that hard. Just score more points than the other team. The Magic look ridiculous. T-Mac, Kareem, Paolo coming off the bench. That's a crazy squad. You got Shaquille O'Neal and the Wizards as the 2nd seed, the Celtics, the Cavs, the Sixers. Yeah. Let's move on. And of course, it has to be the Atlanta Hawks. All right, bro. All right, we've had enough. Let's go ahead and let's see one of our teams with a legend on it. And now we've got Michael Jordan, MJ, and the Charlotte Hornets, him and LaMelo Ball getting the Hornets into the play-in. You've got the Pistons who added Cash Money Chris. You've got the Indiana Pacers who have Kobe Bryant. The Chicago Bulls is the 10th seed. They drafted Victor Wembanyama. That'd be huge if they could somehow get him. I don't know, if you're a playing team, do you get a chance at like the draft lottery? I don't know, Ball. All right, let's go ahead and let's get into it, though. We've got a ton, and I mean a ton, of Game 7s here in the first round. The first one we're going to be checking into is the one between the Atlanta Hawks and the Boston Celtics. And this one is one that we don't really care about too much. Honestly, I'd like if both teams lost, but it had to be the Hawks. I would have rather the Celtics won. It's kind of just like pick your poison, I guess. Trae Young fouled out in 16 minutes, but still, they end up winning. DeJounte Murray masterclass, 41 points. And now we'll move on to another Game 7 between 2 teams I want to lose as well. The Cavs end up advancing. I guess I would have rather had the Sixers because the Cavs are like way too good in this game. And also, as we take a quick look at this Pelicans Thunder Game 7, which also I don't really care about, the Hawks Heat playing game was ridiculous, man. Did you all see UD, that clip of him stressing on the bench? He was probably thinking, man, I just gave y'all a masterclass in the final game of the regular season. They really got a Kyle Lowry masterpiece, probably his best game on the Miami Heat. And they ended up losing. But anyway, we'll jump into this overtime action between the San Antonio Spurs and the Mavericks. Him Duncan ends up getting the tip in to put the game within 1. And now the Mavs are on the line. The Mavs end up making both of their free throws. For some reason, 2K has it set where you foul with 27 seconds, but I guess it worked out because Kevin Durant steps up and hits a huge three to tie this game up at 124 apiece. With the chance to win it, this awful shot goes up and it doesn't end up going in. So now we're headed into overtime. In overtime, it's once again close and Tim Duncan gets the ball in the post. This is what we want to see. Pump fake, lay. Oh my goodness, man. You know the viewership spiked at that moment. I'm sorry, bro. Tim Duncan's a bucket. Luka Doncic from half court. It ends up missing, and we're going to overtime once again. Tim Duncan gets the ball, an easy layup, and now the Spurs are up by 2 points. Do the Dallas Mavericks have an answer? Hopefully not. I kind of just want this game to be over. It's in double overtime. Luka Doncic has the ball, gets the screen from Dirk, pulls the three. It's a good look, but he ends up selling. So the game is over. Dirk and Luka both have good games. Good is kind of crazy to say when 21 assists, 28 points, 37 points, 17 rebounds for Dirk. The Alex Len masterclass. It isn't enough because the San Antonio Spurs simply have too many scorers and they're moving on to the second round. The Memphis Grizzlies are taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. None of our legends are in this series, but the Utah Jazz and the Spurs. This is KG versus Tim Duncan and KD and Kyrie Irving. Good luck, Kevin Garnett. And now we've got the Cavs versus the Magic, Tracy McGrady and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem looks extra tall with Donovan Mitchell on the other side of the screen. And then the Wizards versus the Hawks. You all know we're all rooting for Hawks downfall. Come on, let's go, Wizards Nation. Might need Harry Potter to suit up to defeat the 2K algorithm Hawks, but I guess we'll have to see. And yeah, the Hawks are up 3. Oh my gosh, bro, I'm sick of this Hawks team. And speaking of the Magic, it looks like they might lose. But in the meantime, we got a Game 7 between the Spurs and the Jazz. And Kevin Garnett takes down KD, Kyrie, and Tim Duncan and moves on to the conference finals. Memphis also moved on. And we've got a Game 7 between the Magic and the Cavs. But the Magic end up pulling it out. And it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 40 and 16. Oh my goodness. What a game from Kareem. And then we've got the Jazz versus the Grizzlies here. KG and then, the regular Grizzlies squad. I think they have Kelly Oubre on the team now. You've got the Hawks versus the Magic. Again, Kareem looks extra tall with Trae Young there. Hopefully he can use that height to his advantage and get a dub. The Magic are up 3-1. I don't even care about the Western Conference Series. Hawks downfall. They're coming back. Oh my gosh, bro. I'm so sick of this Hawks team, man. Game 7, no. They did it. They did it. They did it. Should I just end the video here? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 39 points, 21 rebounds, but it doesn't matter because the greatest 2K team of all time prevails. And now we've got the Jazz versus, of course, the Grizzlies win. We couldn't even see KG try to take down the Hawks. Please, can the Hawks at least lose this finals? We've got the Grizzlies versus Memphis. No, they are the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know, man. Subscribe, like, all the YouTube stuff. Bye.